Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Rambling of the Directors podcast. I am here today with my co-host Williams and Caitlin, and today we are joined by a very special guest, Samantha Miller. Samantha, introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Samantha Miller.
I'm a freshman.
Yeah, I'm a freshman. I need to stop doing that. At Lincoln High School, I'm part of the theater department, and yeah, I think that's what.
How many shows have you done?
At Lincoln?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Oh no, that sounded bad. Oh gosh, I sound like a. Okay. Anyways, I guess 3, 2.5, 2 1/4.
2 1/4.
2 1/4.
Cool.
I'll just say that.
Call back to our last episode. That was your one bit, Caitlin. We're going hot now, so you can't. We just have to roll with it now.
Anywho, Mr. Williams, didn't you say you had some challenges for some people to get by the next time we do a podcast?
I do. So, in an effort to get some people seeing this stuff, I have a challenge for you all. And Caitlin, you good?
I'm sorry. No, I'm just.
You want to talk about some things? You go talk about some things.
This is just therapy now.
Okay. Well, sorry. Just like doing this podcast is like so fun, and it makes me so happy. Like, I'm sorry.
So they're tears of joy.
Yeah, it's just like I haven't been this happy in so long. And like doing this podcast is so fun. And like it's my way of talking to like the people I enjoy talking to. And like I just really want people to watch it. Like just like feel the joy like through the screen, Sorry. It's just like I really care about us. And I really think that if we got 100 views, then I feel like that would just make a difference for me.
100 views? Yeah. 100 views on YouTube? What about 100 listens on our actual podcast?
Like just 100. I just love that number, guys. Like that means a lot to me.
You know what, Caitlin? You know what? I'm gonna add some stakes.
Oh my god, okay.
I had a different challenge I was gonna do, but I'm gonna add some stakes here. You know what? If we can get 100 people to view this video on YouTube and get 100 people to listen to this podcast on our various on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Breaker, Radio Public, or Anchor, I'll dye my hair. Whatever color y'all want.
You'll dye your hair?
Really?
I'll dye my hair. I might even cut it too.
Interesting.
So that's within a week. Y'all got to step up. You always say I back out of things. I will do this, but I need 100 and 100 within 7 calendar days.
So much. I'm sorry.
And Williams, I have another challenge to put to you.
Okay.
If we get 200, will you dye the beard too?
How about this? If we get 200. Now, are you talking for both or just for one?
Oh my God, that's so
if we get 200 on this one, will you dye
within 7 days?
Beard too.
How about this? I'll not only will I dye it, I'll put glitter in it.
Oh my God!
I will glitter my beard for 200 because I am
so awesome.
I am shameless and I have no dignity. I will do that for you all.
Oh my God! That's so.
Now, before we go, I'm gonna let that resonate, but we gotta pay some bills here real quick. So I'm gonna.
Yeah, we gotta get through the boring shit.
Finn, we can't swear on this, Finn. God,
you said we could. You said we could.
All right, well, F it then. Anyway, let's go pay some bills here real quick. Are you looking to make your own podcast? Wondering what service you could use to make your podcast super easy and super efficient? Well, let me tell you, try the Anchor app. You haven't heard about Anchor. It's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. First off, it's free, which is my favorite F word. there's a creation tool that allows you to record and edit your own podcast from your phone or your computer. It's that easy. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you. So it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Breaker, Radio Public, and even the Anchor app itself. The cool thing is you can even make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. I mean, you could have one person listening and you'd still be making that green. So if you haven't had a chance yet, make sure you're going to the Anchor app. You can get it on Google Play or in the Apple Store, or you can get it on the internet. Download it now. It's a great tool.
And we're back after the sponsorship with Mr. Williams. Thank you for that. Okay. Now I know we've been joking around a lot, but we need to talk about something a little more serious. So yesterday, you know what? I don't want to explain it. Caitlin, how about you explain what happened yesterday during our theater arts Zoom meeting?
Yesterday.
Oh, let me take a sip of this tea.
Okay.
This is serious. I'm not laughing.
That's fine. And we'll leave names out. Like, we'll leave names out just because we don't want to put anyone on blast. Those that know will know. And the rest,
if you know, you know.
If you know, you know. If you know, you know. And if you don't know, you don't know. And that's life. Anyway, so what happened yesterday? So, thespians at Lincoln High School meet every Friday at 3:30. And we discuss theater things and just all theater. And it's fun. It's a great time. Well, I had a spectacular, what I thought, idea where we invite a guest on. And this guest is pretty well known. And it's a guest that I looked up to, an actress, I guess. And it was.
We were going to talk about theater things.
Yeah, like we wanted them to be like, hey, theater, this is how it works. And so Williams and I set up this whole thing where we contacted the actresses' people. Everything was confirmed. Everything seemed smooth sailing. And then yesterday was the big day where the guest was supposed to come on. And I was so excited because Williams and I decided to keep it as a secret because I love the element of surprise, you know?
Mistake number one.
Yeah.
So we were prepped for this. Now, I get it too. Like, I understand being busy and things come up and life happens. I get that. I understand.
Wait, Williams, Caitlin hasn't explained what happened yet.
I know. I'm just giving a little preface of like, there I said like again. I'm just giving a little background story for myself. So I don't want like people to hear this and say mean things and be nasty and like, stuff happens.
Yeah.
So Caitlin, go ahead.
Okay, so and this guest was scheduled to come at 3:30, and everything was fine. Like we had confirmation, and we tried to make sure that everything was going to happen. And then the guest did not show up at first, and the best part for the first half hour for me was seeing everyone's reactions to me telling who it was. Because like I said, it's someone pretty well known. And like the first actress I really looked up to, honestly, which is why I was so excited about it. And they did not show up in the first half hour, but we had people on there that, you know, was there to like see the surprise and whatever. But it became this whole conversation, like this fun conversation with friends that weren't normally on there. So I feel like for the first hour and a half, it was like a distraction kind of like between like friends, and it was a good time. And then by the end, it was kind of a realization that, oh, it's been an hour and a half and the person still has not come. And that's when it hit me, it was like, oh, wow, I totally thought this was happening. And like, it was just a weird situation. Like, I'm not mad at anybody. I know things happen. Like, and I felt like we made what we could have out of what happened. But yeah, I felt kind of embarrassed, which I know it wasn't my fault, but it was something I was really looking forward to. And I was excited to have someone that well known on the podcast on the Zoom, and
The virtual meeting.
Yeah. So.
Which I think, after that initial shock of being upset and being sad as Caitlin kicks her keyboard,
I know, I'm good.
It turned into this really cool blessing, though.
Yeah.
Of just us talking and shooting the crap for an hour and a half, 2 hours.
Yeah.
Which was funny, just the conversations that were happening within the Zoom meeting, because people were just updating us about their lives and telling us all these things about themselves, and
yeah,
seeing who had haircuts.
Oh yeah,
some fun, weird, like familial stories.
Yeah,
that were something.
That's one way to put it.
It's the way we're gonna put it.
That's the way we have to.
Yeah.
Let me just sip some more tea.
Yeah, it was a fun experience. Like, I haven't talked to some of the people on that Zoom over the phone ever since school. And, like, that makes me sad because, like, I just miss everybody so much. So, honestly, like, trying to make the best out of that not so great situation by talking to people that I haven't spoken to in a while, it made me happy because I missed everyone. So I tried to look at that point, and then by the end I kind of like that's when I was like, they're not coming, and I was like, cool, feels great, but things happen. I'm not mad. I'm kind of sad at the situation.
I think that
I was pumped, but
I think that shows a really good lesson of theater, though, in terms of being flexible and being adaptable. You can plan as much as you want to.
Oh, yeah.
And you can have the greatest plan in place, but something's going to happen to mess that plan up.
Oh, yeah.
Whether it's in your control or out of your control, to where you just have to adapt. There's no other course of action. Like, we could have sat there and been mad and been upset.
Yeah. And then I tried to make a joke out of it saying, like, comment the person's name and maybe they'll come. And, like, I don't know. I tried to make it. And then by the end, I was like, this really sucks. And I was like, I'm going to go cry. And then, but it's okay. I needed that.
So just FYI, moral of the story, person that was supposed to come, you made Caitlin cry.
Oh, gosh.
I have a very particular skill set.
Oh.
I will find you. I'm kidding, I won't.
Because, they won't even come to the Zoom, so how are we going to find
I was just going to say that I'm too lazy to search. It's late.
Yeah, no, that too.
That's more where I was going. Not that other piece. Gosh, we're all going to get arrested for, I don't know.
God, I hope not.
Dude, I mean, I don't know.
We can all start our own prison gang.
Finn, I adore you, but I am not joining your prison gang. Sorry.
I'm not joining.
Yeah, that'd be really scary.
I'm not joining the prison.
That's the statement.
It's what they all say, Caitlin. It's what they all say.
Hey.
And most people don't.
Have you ever seen Shawshank Redemption?
I am not crawling in a sewer. I'm not crawling in a sewer. A, I'm too big. And B, I know what's in there. And it's really crappy.
Oh, gross. Oh my god. Gross.
Nice pun. Nice pun.
I'll be here for the next 20 minutes.
Good. Please leave.
No.
Wow, that's real hurtful, Finn. Finn's grumpy. Finn needs some caffeine, I think.
I do need caffeine. It's been a long day, you guys.
Should have planned better.
Well, I thought we were going to do it at 5:30.
No matter how hard you plan, things will always go back. So,
Kayla is a perfect pacifist to that.
So, I just hope you guys. Oh my god.
Just throw it back in my face. That's fine.
Let me challenge your thinking.
It's push back on your thinking. Let me push back on your thinking. You can't punch me through a screen.
Oh.
If she tries hard
One eye
enough.
open. I will find you.
Caitlin tries, and then she's out of the podcast for the rest of the episode. Oh, I broke my computer.
It's just like, oh.
That's karma.
Like that. That was.
Now, I do have a hypothetical I want to throw by you all.
All right.
Just something to percolate on and think on. Because, yeah, I went to college, Finn. I know words.
I'm going to college.
Williams, I've seen what you did in college, okay? So don't get mad at me for not believing you knew what that word meant.
What? That's another topic for later.
What were you going to say?
Thank you, Caitlin, for... I'm on track.
I'm sorry.
So, this guest didn't show up, but I've always wondered what people's, like, top 5... Like, if we could have anyone on this show, when we grow, it grows and gets bigger and people listen and all that stuff. We have some curb appeal.
We're in with the streets, you know.
It's a never. Finn, I'm just not going to talk to you anymore.
Should I just
This podcast will be awkward.
Should I just mute my mic and turn off my camera, and I'll just be here? I'll just listen.
No, we got to do your performance review later. Which, spoiler alert, you should stick around for Finn's performance review, episode 2, and we're already having to do a performance review for Finn.
It determines if I stay in Lincoln Theater Arts.
Oh.
Yeah. I hope it goes well for you.
It's written by Samantha Miller.
Which is why it's called the Miller Reports.
Okay.
So anyway, back on our topic. Who would be your top 5 guests? And Samantha, not to like... You're a great guest. You're a great special guest. But we also who else would you want? And Samantha, I'm gonna pose that question to you too. Who would you want to be on this podcast with?
Okay. Well, I wrote down a list. It's on my desk, so I don't want to get it, but I think I remembered it. So my top one would be Eva Noblezada. She played Eurydice in Hadestown.
Oh my god.
Big fan. I'm a big fan. She's really cool. She's really chill from what I've seen from her Instagram posts. So there's her. There's Jessie Mueller, who's in Waitress and like Carousel and all that jazz. I really like her too. And then also I was like guessing who was gonna be the guest person for the Zoom meeting yesterday. I was guessing like for Caitlin, and I said Carton. That'd be really fun. For those of you who don't know musicals, Liv and Maddie, Diggy, that dude. But yeah, that's really all I have so far. So yeah.
Can I ask a follow-up question? What is Liv and Maddie?
You don't know what that is? You have a daughter. Oh my gosh. Okay.
So it's a show. It's a show, I'm assuming.
Yeah, it's a Disney Channel show. It's basically about, I don't know, I haven't watched it in like 5 years. It's about like 2 twins and their endeavors, I guess. That's the best way to explain it. But yeah.
My daughter was on a very much like a Toon Disney theme 5 years ago.
Yeah.
So we weren't at that level yet.
Right.
Full Disney. We were just on Toon Disney.
Yeah. None of you will understand this, but Finn, shut up.
I mean,
man, Finn, it's not looking good for you. You've made me mad. You made Samantha mad.
Hey, I think I have Caitlin on my side. We're practically in a band together now.
Which you asked her to write the music for.
I didn't hear you.
No, I asked when are we going to write the music collaboratively.
Well,
Anywho, Caitlin, who would you want on the podcast?
No, Finn, you were next. Hey.
See,
I was next.
You
Wait, I was next. Wait, we had a list? We had a list of people who was going to go?
Yeah, Finn, we're just figuring this out, man. We're figuring this out as we go. This
Okay.
episode 2.
So I'll go. I like Samantha. I also tried to guess who the guest was, and I was really hoping it was going to be Lin-Manuel Miranda. I thought that would have been really cool, because like I don't watch much Broadway, and I will completely tell everyone, yeah, I have hopped on the Hamilton bandwagon, and I'm not ashamed of it. I have hopped on the bandwagon. I really like Hamilton. I haven't really listened to like any other musicals, but it's whatever. I'm slowly getting into it. You know, it's a process. I'm gonna listen to Carrie soon. I listened to East Town a while back. I really like that. So it's a slow process. Another person I would like to have on there. I don't know if anyone else would be interested in this person, but I would love it if we had Quentin Tarantino on here. I know he'd probably never do it.
Who's that? Never heard of him.
He makes movies. Another person I think would be really good is Taika Waititi. He also makes movies, and he makes very funny movies. And I think he would be a great joy to be on here because he also did a lot of theater when he was younger. This next person is technically two people because we need a translator.
A good start.
It would be really cool to have Bong Joon-ho on here. He directed Parasite. He directed, most Americans are probably familiar with Snowpiercer. He directed a movie called Okja. He made a movie called Mother. He's just a really good director. And then we'd have his translator on there, Sharon Cho. I think that's how you pronounce her name. And then another person who could be on here, which would be really cool, but probably won't ever happen, is Leonardo DiCaprio, because he stands a lot for like world health and stuff, and he wants to help promote the stop of global warming. So I think it would be very interesting to have him on here so he could like talk about that. And those are my 5, technically 6 people.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard of a couple of them, but you know. Nothing? Okay, I'm gonna stop making jokes.
I messed it up, guys. I got scared. It's got to be a good moment. I promise. It'll be there.
So what Caitlin was trying to do is play the Jeopardy. Can we say Jeopardy? I don't know if we're not sponsored. Is that
the word Jeopardy? I don't think the word Jeopardy is copyrighted.
Well, if it is, we're in trouble.
I'm gonna look that up.
Just as we're recording a podcast.
No, wait, hold on. The Jeopardy theme is definitely copyrighted, so you might want to stop playing that.
Right, we can't pay them. That's a lie.
Can we hum it?
Sure.
Play it in minor chord, so then it's not.
I don't know if you can do that.
Caitlin, who do you want?
Okay, hold on. Okay, sorry, I have the thing. So the word Jeopardy in all caps with an exclamation point is copyrighted. So if you all just say it deadpan face, it'll be perfectly fine. So Caitlin, if you want to do the Jeopardy theme song, go right ahead.
Okay, this is the Jeopardy. I don't know how to do it in minor. I got to figure that out for next time. Oh my god.
I'm a drama teacher. I don't know how to not inflect, Finn. I can't go deadpan. What do you take me for? Some other teacher?
Nizzy.
Oh.
P.S. Shout out Mr. Nizzy. I miss him.
Nizzy's the best.
I had Nizzy freshman year. That was fun.
I still stand by the fact that Mr. Nizzy has made my year at Lincoln so much better.
Really?
Just in terms of, yeah.
He's so funny.
There were some really rough times where I was questioning a lot of things. Mm-hmm. And he would just pop up into my room and start yelling, but like fun yelling. Which doesn't make sense unless you know him. But he'd just start yelling, and then I'd be like, I'm in a good mood now, Nizzy. Thank you. I needed that.
Aw.
So shout out Mr. Nizzy.
Wow.
Dear God, this is the last time we're filming this this late.
Great. I think
this is devolving quickly.
No. Wait, I thought of my 5.
Okay.
Should I? Okay. So my 5. Probably my top, just because I can't move my computer screen, but if you know, you know. My top would be Ariana Grande. I'll just show you this. You know, it's my mouse pad. Like, I definitely I think I like her just a little bit, like, you know.
Didn't you meet her once? Didn't you meet her one time?
I did. I met her, I think it was 2017. It was when Caitlyn was ugly. So it was like an ugly next to Ariana Grande. So it was really like a rock bottom top. So
you two are best friends. So hook us up.
Oh, we're best friends. Yeah, no, for sure. I'll get her on there. So probably my second one would be Renee Rapp, because I have just recently, like, I am in love with her as like a performer, and just the fact that she won the Jimmy Awards, and like I've watched that performance so many times. It's like, I'm so inspired by that. Like, that's so cool. She is very, very, very talented, and just love her. Third would probably be Barbara Streisand. Because
what do you?
What was that?
Isn't that a Barbara Streisand song? Am I completely wrong?
There were no words to it.
No, I was just like singing. Doesn't she have a song that goes like, ooh? Isn't that her?
No, there's a song called
like,
Barbara
no?
Streisand that has the. We might not make it to the Miller Report.
Hold on. In my defense, it did have the name Barbara Streisand in it, so
that
it
was
did
a
make
valid.
sense that I was starting. That was a valid thing. Thank you, Caitlin. She's the only one not wanting me to get kicked out right now.
That song. That song was definitely, wow, that was a part of my childhood. Thanks, Just Dance. Anyway.
Hold on. Let me just make a note real quick. Interrupts and sucks. Okay, proceed.
All right. But yeah, Barbara Streisand would probably just be because when I was younger, that's who my dad not made me, but like I listened to Barbara Streisand a lot because my dad was like, "Hey, that voice sound like it." I'm like, "Oh, okay." So that was like my idol when I was really young. Like, there's videos of me on YouTube, don't look for them, of me singing Barbara Streisand songs, and I'm like in elementary school. That's interesting.
We'll take them down below.
No, don't do that. Anyway, fourth would be Jason Robert Brown, because like Renee Rapp, I've fallen in love with him recently and his work, and like, oh my gosh, I listened to The Last 5 Years nonstop. It's a musical for those of y'all that don't know. It is just the way the music is written and arranged is so beautiful. And like I just wish that I wish that like I wish I could like be as talented as that man. Like, he is big inspo. And then my fifth person would probably be Beryl Ulbert Weed, because I literally love Heathers, and she's someone I've listened to all of the songs she's done in like Mean Girls and Heathers, and I remember for Triple Threat, I actually was going to do one of her songs. So her voice is incredible. And yeah, that's my list.
Very nice. Very nice. Well, I guess I'll go so I took kind of a different approach. Like, I have some big names, but I also really enjoy some of my like local people too. So my list, I'll start off with like, I don't want to say the big names because all of them are big names within my life and have strongly impacted my theatrical career. But the well-known names that most people will know. So first, I'm going to start with Kristen Chenoweth, just because she looks like a bundle of energy that would be fantastic to talk to for 3 seconds. She just looks like this sweet little firecracker that I would just want to talk to and be like, just tell me stories. That's all I need. You can talk about whatever you want to. I have no questions for you. Just talk to me.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
That'd be great.
Yeah, because it would be gold. She's funny. I was watching her doing a clip on Conan and did a costume change within the interview. I was like, I'll be right back. I have to go change clothes. And then did this interview, and it was hilarious.
That's great.
That's incredible.
I just, like, if she were to come on, I would teach her how to cook. She said she doesn't know how to cook, and I'll teach you how to cook, Miss Chenoweth.
Heck yeah.
Whip up some good Midwestern meals for you. So the second one would be Brian Darcy James, who played Shrek. He was in one of my favorite shows now, Next to Normal. I love that show, which is weird because I heard it at Fest Fest for the first time a couple years back and fell in love. Like, that show goes in hard. So it'd just be cool to talk to him about his experiences, and being Shrek and being in Next to Normal would just be fun. So the other ones maybe aren't as well known within like a national scene, although some of them have some cred to their name, but have just been really big influences in my theatrical career and in my life. So one is a couple are professors up at UNI that I had, Dr. Karen Mitchell and Dr. Paul Siddons, and they just got me through life. They got me through how to be a good person, how to be a performer. I did a lot of social justice theater with them up there, so talking about really important issues, and showed me that theater can have a purpose that's not just to entertain. I can put a really solid message behind what I'm trying to do. So for that, I'll always be indebted. So I would just love to pick their brains. I think they're both, Dr. Siddons I know is retired, and I think Dr. Mitchell is still teaching, but she's close. So just to pick their brains about things would be awesome. And then the last one I have is another mentor of mine from the Playhouse. So Samantha, you might know her, but is Mrs. Kathy Pingle, who ran the education department at the Playhouse for a long time. Her and her husband, Ron, who Ron would be fantastic too. I'd love to talk to Ron. He's a freelance director around the country. I would just love to pick their brains because they've done so much. So it'd just be cool to talk to them. So any of y'all are listening, you want to be on the podcast,
Let us
know.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's pretty good. That's a pretty good list. We'll just get all of them on, and then
Yeah.
it'll be great.
Heck yeah.
We'll start with Ari.
Sounds like a plan.
Yes. Oh my gosh, wait. Yeah. Hi, I'm here. Oh my god. Hi. You guys want to talk to me?
The entire podcast becomes us talking to Caitlin Shirt.
Ariana Grande? She has a name.
Wow.
Caitlin Shirt.
Okay.
Her name is now Caitlin Shirt.
It's her nickname.
No, don't call me that. I'm Ariana Grande, and I will be referred to. Okay, I need to stop.
All right. We need to break free.
I want to break free.
So I can't resist it. No, okay, you know what?
Me and Caitlin both broke out into different songs that relate to breaking free. That was great.
Don't take me back to High School Musical thing.
We're breaking free.
No, I took you back. I took I Want to Break Free by Queen.
Oh.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Okay, so before we move on to our next scheduled segment, I don't know.
We don't have scheduled segments. This
Okay,
is all just
whatever. So Caitlin mentioned that there may be videos of her singing. So while you guys were talking, I did a little snooping around,
No. No,
I
no, I'm
I
not gonna do
found
this to me
something.
right now. No, no,
I found something.
please,
I
no.
like how Finn's gonna. I like how Finn's gonna show this, and on the podcast, people are gonna be like, "What's happening?"
This
right
is
now,
a
Finn-
video
No.
of young Caitlin Porter singing
No.
Silent Night.
Finn's sharing his screen and has the video muted like a noob.
I'm gonna die.
It's a good voice.
Look at little 10-year-old Caitlin. Don't worry, Caitlin. I won't edit this out. We'll keep this in. This is gold.
This is great. You know what, Caitlin?
Any other good one.
You can have a like. You can have a subscribe.
Thanks for the subscription. Yeah.
I subscribed.
Who the heck is
Well-
Cookie Cat Porter?
Shout out to Cookie Cat Porter.
What the heck? I don't like that I'm still singing. If we could just like do another video. Please. Oh my
And
god.
people listening to this are going to be real confused right now. They're just going to hear a lot of laughing.
Anywho,
And Silent Night in the
Oh my God,
background.
no.
Finn, stop sharing your screen.
more. That just seemed like the best one to share.
So why,
Oh my
that,
god.
Samantha, for the Miller Report, let's make note of that.
Yeah, definitely. I'll like.
All right.
Oh my god.
So
I'm sorry, Caitlin. I had to do it.
I
You
feel like
I
mentioned
haven't seen that in years.
I feel like it's time to move on. Finn, I need to tell you, I think we're going to have to save pineapple on pizza for next week.
is pineapple on pizza just going to become like our ongoing joke, and we're never actually going to talk about it?
Well, it's not now because you just ruined the joke.
Boo! Sorry.
We'll talk about it next week. Come back
Talk
next
about it
week.
next week.
Come back next week.
I think we might have time. We only have 3 segments left.
Finn, we have been going for an hour.
Yeah,
already.
well, the committed fans will watch.
Finn, I love you. I love all of you, but I'm not watching an hour of us talking. Like, I think we create some great content. But even this is not an ASMR video.
It is now.
What is? I can't do it. I can't do it without laughing.
Okay, so would you like to move on to the HONK auditions?
If that's what we want to talk about next, I don't know. We don't plan these things, Finn, because we're
We do have a plan. We have a plan right here. I have everything written down, but then you're like, oh, let's skip this one, or let's make this one shorter. So you ruined my plans, Williams. So
Well,
I don't know what
if
you
you
plan.
remember, Finn, but when you try to plan things, it's just a life lesson that even if you plan something for a really long time, a long periodically time, then
Long periodic time.
it might not work. So sorry, that's just like the rule, you know?
Thank you for the advice, Ariana Grande.
What? I'm not Ariana Grande.
I like how Finn's just tearing down the back curtain, like revealing all of our secrets. We don't plan things except the things we've planned. Oh gosh. So HONK auditions.
Oh,
HONK
God.
audition.
Segway King right here.
Woo!
So I will never forget. Well, that's a lie, because I kind of forgot. But when reminded, I look back fondly on HONK auditions. Samantha, you auditioned for HONK. Do you want to tell us about your experience?
Yeah. So, okay. During this special audition, so we had this song, and we had to do a monologue, if I remember. And then at the end, they had a surprise for us. So,
Oh my god. Yeah.
Which we often do. We often do have, like, there'll be some element where I'm going to throw a curveball your way during an audition.
yeah.
That's just what I do.
It's lovely. So he basically told me and everyone else to act like any animal we wanted to.
Oh yes.
One of my first interactions with Williams is me squatting down on the floor and having some duck/chicken arms and just waddling around and squawking for solid 15 seconds. So that was fun. Yeah, it's a grand old time.
Now, if I can push back on your thinking a little bit.
Okay.
So there was a bunch of us in the room doing the auditions. It was myself. We had Michael, who helps us out with some stuff sometimes. Mr. White and Mr. Fitzgerald were there for the singing pieces. And then they had a student teacher named Miss Dorsky. Shout out Miss Dorsky.
I love her. She was chill. I miss her.
Yeah. Wherever you are. Like, there are a few teachers that I see where I'm like, you are destined to be a teacher just because you care. That sounded really bad. There are a lot of teachers like student teachers, I guess. I will say. Let me reword that. Student teachers. Just lose my job.
Oh my god.
There are a lot of student teachers. There are a few student teachers that I see that have that connection piece yet. Because student teaching is just so weird in and of itself in terms of you're trying to figure out how to teach. And it doesn't matter how much theory you have. Teaching is something that you just have to do. And that's how you get better at it. So that's why I say there are a few student teachers that have that caring component. And she did. So wherever she is now, I'm sure she's crushing it. So shout out Miss Gorski. Anyway, so there were us six, however many that was. So myself, Michael, and Miss Dorsky, like Mr. White and Mr. Fitzgerald are busy. We're focusing on the music pieces and things like that. And we're just kind of sitting there. We're going to judge the acting pieces. So we got bored, and I was like, "Oh, I'm going to surprise them. I want to see how they take direction.
Oh my god!
How they handle like a surprise, which is why I do that. Like in terms of audition pieces, I'm less worried about can you read? I'm more worried about what do you bring? Do you take risks? And are you coachable? Because that's the big thing. Like, it doesn't matter. The lines don't matter yet. It's more about when I'm trying to cast a show, it's more of who can I work with that's going to be easy and not give me gray hairs. And then who's going to be willing to take a risk? Because that's so much of what theater is. So that's why we did that kind of surprise piece. But the funny part, what turned into, was I'm pretty sure we had 5. There were 5. Like, we would have 3 solid ones, but then we would fluctuate the other 2. But they were like some ridiculous ones. I mean, there was like, gosh, I can't even remember. But there were some messed up ones, like, be a tadpole, be a narwhal.
Wow.
Be a unicorn. Like, it was, and the entire time, the 3 of us are trying to not laugh hysterically because of how absurd it is. It progressed to a point where we tried to think of the most absurd animals that we could think of just to mess with y'all. Like, it was 100% us just being...
God.
Hey, can you act like a vampire bat, please?
Like a tsetse fly, please? I just want to see it.
Oh my god. That's so funny.
So for those future directors, part of the process, it's fun to mess with your potential cast.
Oh my gosh. That's hilarious.
Caitlin, how was your experience with HONK auditioning?
Oh my god. I walked out of the room and I was like, I can't believe I just did that. Like, because I walked in and you guys were like, I acted a little, I guess. And then you're like, what animal? And I was like, I'm going to do a seal. And then I went down on that dirty floor. Oh, why did I went down on that dirty floor. I literally laid on my stomach with my arms flat to my side and went, oh. And I couldn't stop laughing. I was like, why did I choose a seal? Like, I remember remember standing up and I walked out and I was like, what did I just do? Like, what just happened? And
Which is what we wanted.
Williams, is there any chance that there is footage of this?
No, we don't record auditions.
Damn it.
We're not that mean. I wish we could have just had a reaction video of Michael, myself, and Miss Korsky.
oh my god.
That would have been gold in and of itself. I'm pretty sure it got to a point where it was tough for us to say. Like, we had to alternate who said it because we couldn't do it with a straight face anymore.
That's great.
Oh, Lord.
Oh god, I still can't believe that was a... I forgot about that because I remember I walked out, it's just like beet red. I was like, oh my god, I acted like a seal in front of my choir teachers and my theater teacher. Oh my god.
But think about it, though. In terms of casting a show, in
Yeah.
terms of putting an ensemble together, you need to see who's going to be willing just to kind of go with things.
Yeah. I just wasn't ready for that. I was like, well,
Exactly. Which
I'm
is
gonna get on my
100%.
stomach now and
I remember the first time we had auditions, I think I just told them to tell a story right on the spot without realizing that improv is tough. So I just told them, I was like, tell me a story for a minute. And there were so many kids that were just like, what? Because they didn't know me from Adam. Yeah, they saw this new theater teacher and were thinking to themselves, he wants me to do what? Because this was when we were at Rails. So we had auditions down at Rails because the auditorium was getting renovated. So, like, who are you telling me to tell you a story, bucko? I'm like, I'm your director. Tell me a story.
That's how that works.
that's wow.
So speaking of auditions, the time has come, Finn.
Oh no.
The time has come. Now, I will say, since Finn's already pulled back the curtain on us on this podcast, I will say that Samantha has been working on this for a while, this performance review. But Caitlin and I have no idea what's in this. So if it doesn't go well, Finn, you're fired.
I think it is. You hear that voice crack
I'm
right
gonna be
there.
the harshest audience member. I will be an elementary schooler.
I
right
think it's
now.
funny. I think it's funny.
All right. Well,
I have it pulled up so
You
I can
heard it?
follow along while
I have
Sam reads it.
Okay.
All
Ready?
right.
Start when you're ready.
All
I'm going
right.
to take notes.
Take
This is
notes,
more of a
everyone.
letter
okay, I got mine.
than anything, so I should have printed this out and made it all official, but it's fine. So, dear Lincoln Theater Arts, this document is a commentary as to the process of elimination in regards to one Finian Edward Norton. In this document, you shall find multiple errors in regards to almost all of his encounters with all humans in general, as well as the arts itself. His repetitive nuances collectively display the incompetence of not only his character, but as well as his work ethic.
He has a work ethic?
Exactly. Okay.
Guys,
All right, I'm going
thanks.
to put that down. Work ethic,
All right.
question mark.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay. Encounter 1. The effect of his presence within the first fortnight of the production of the 2019 play Clue on stage. This unfortunate occurrence has led to multiple outbreaks, such as the encouragement of water pouring on Mr. Marquise Bundy's cranium, which caused him minor but validatable stress.
I'm pretty sure you had a concussion. So threat to society, got it?
A validatable threat.
Validate. How do you spell that?
V-A-L. You know
I
what?
got
Hold on,
it.
let me restart. V as in violet.
No, I got it. All
Yeah.
right. Can't
Okay.
spell. Got that too.
Yeah.
Correct. Okay. Encounter 2. The excessive pointage of Mr. Norton's right index finger as he directed scenes throughout the rehearsal process of Clue on Stage. Norton's alleged misconduct of the pointage led to the cast and crew of this production to feel quite intimidated and threatened during this time.
Alleged misconduct. Okay, it's only.
Finn, I'm not gonna lie to you. I feel like this is also part tea time too. Like, people didn't like you at the beginning.
Oh yeah, people hated me. I know people hated me.
Yeah, and I think it's because of your finger pointing. So I'm gonna put that down. Finger pointer.
Finger pointing equals being hated. Got it.
Cut them off.
Okay.
Yeah, don't point your finger. It's rude.
William, stop! Oh my god.
Sorry.
I almost cried again. Stop. Alright, keep going.
Alright, so, y'all ready? Okay.
Yeah.
Encounter 3. The attempt to dance as if you were one Mr. Gene Kelly. This attempt not only caused trepidation for the writer of this report, Samantha Miller, but Mr. Norton claims that it was all for fun and games. But while that is indubitable, many would agree that this act was unprofessional and concerning.
Hold on one second. I think something's wrong with Finn.
Yeah, wait.
Finn, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm having a good time.
All right.
Finn,
It looks like.
Are you trying to hurt something?
Oh my god.
Why you got
Are
fist?
you?
Loosen
you-
it. Come on.
No, you
need
guys
to
told me not
face-
to point anymore, so
You can.
I'm
Are
not
you
pointing.
Okay.
But you're bobbing.
Stop
Are you-
That's
Uh-huh.
threatening me. It's like you're threatening to punch me.
He's
Thank
trying
you.
to assert his dominance, guys, but apparently that's not working, so it's fine.
All right. Aggressive.
Yeah.
Okay. What are we on Encounter 4? Encounter 4 is the best. No, wait.
Encounter 4 is stupid because...
No, the conclusion's the best.
Okay, we all good? We all got our notes down?
I
Yeah.
think so.
Okay.
Aggressive potential health threat or health issue. Got it.
Okay. Encounter 4, the process of flirtation leading to a romance with one Samantha Ann Miller. I hate this one. Anyways, this caused many to feel uncomfortable, for they themselves are lonely. This encounter... He came up with that line. I'm not... Okay, anyway. This encounter has commenced approximately since September 10th, 2019 AD to the current day of this conception of this report, 05/03/20, and will most likely continue for much longer. Y'all got that down?
All right. I mean, that's a plus. He has good standards.
Yeah.
It could be taken as a plus, or it could be taken like. Never mind.
Bad. Okay.
Samantha, blink twice if you need to get out of that relationship. Just blink
I will.
twice. He won't know.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anywho,
So, at a conclusion part, so do you want me to say our conclusion? Or, I'm sorry, my conclusion? Or do you guys want to decide what?
No, I think we should hear your conclusion,
Okay.
and then we'll vote from there. And then we'll go from there.
Well, I kind of changed my opinion through the whole thing. So, just to warn you guys, you can think whatever you want. But I said, in conclusion, Mr. Norton should not be kicked out of the Lincoln Theater Arts Department because he is pretty and has never punched a crew member in the face.
Well, that's good. I'm glad he's never resorted to violence.
Oh my god.
I told you guys that last joke was the best one.
It's not a joke. It's stating a conclusion. She's telling us that you've never punched. All right. Okay, then we should probably discuss this, all right? So he doesn't have a work ethic.
No.
He's a validatable threat to society.
That's kind of sketchy.
Can't spell. He's a finger pointer who's aggressive.
Disgrace.
Potential health issues.
Oof.
He
No
does
more
have
COVID.
good standards. He does have good standards in terms of dating.
Okay, that's one
Thank you.
plus. Okay.
And he's never punched anyone
That
on
okay.
stage.
Well, okay.
That's a pretty solid argument.
Mhm.
I mean, there's a lot of evidence against you, Finn.
A little bit, but it's validatable. I
Yeah.
feel as
Very
though
validatable.
yeah.
So Caitlin, you're saying not to kick him out either?
I don't want to draw a conclusion just yet because we
Okay.
need to discuss.
So I think I'm gonna make the call. I think.
Okay.
I don't think we need to call any witnesses.
Okay.
I think we're just gonna let the evidence stand.
Where's my lawyer?
You don't need a lawyer. It's not that type of thing.
This is a
But so
podcast.
we've heard overwhelming evidence that you shouldn't be here.
Yeah.
The prosecution has made a very good defense, saying all these things that you suck at. I think I'm gonna have to take my cue from the Senate, and I'm gonna have to let you in. I think we'll just ignore all the evidence, and you'll be okay. We won't impeach you.
It makes sense because I feel as though the evidence was only a suggestion.
Yeah.
Should not be considered. So I think I agree with you on that one.
Yeah, evidence.
For sure.
We don't need evidence. Evidence is not important in a judicial decision.
No.
No, we don't need any more witnesses. We just need to know people in power, and then we'll just let you off the hook.
Yep.
Although, can we change your name to Michael, Finn?
No, but one thing I do recommend, since I am staying in theater arts, I recommend you all go get some calendars, and then you keep those calendars for 30 years like a weirdo, and then you can, just keep those calendars for a very long time.
Finn, I love you right now.
Just keep those calendars for a very long time, like a freak.
Are you sure you don't want to change your name to Michael Finn?
I'm very sure I don't want to change my name to Michael.
All right,
But
Michael Finn.
I'm very sure I'm going to keep my calendars.
Fair enough.
I can mark down all the times. I work out and I go to parties with all my friends, like
The best part
Angie
is
and Gina.
some people will get this reference, and some people will be like, "I don't understand."
And Suzanne, especially Suzanne.
The people that don't understand watch the news more.
So yeah,
This is concerning how good this is. Okay, anyway.
so
I'm
keep
out
your
of.
calendars. Keep your calendars. As you can see, I appreciate you guys letting me in anyway, because as you can see, this has made me very emotional.
Finn, whoa.
I'm crying.
Yeah.
This is going to be very emotional.
All right.
I will mark on my calendars and show those calendars.
Wait, I have a question. I'm kind of a little I'm a little bit confused. What is it that I should get? You haven't really said.
The joke?
I'll explain it to you when you're older.
No. There's like an object that you want me to keep for years to come.
A calendar.
A calendar.
Okay.
Keep your calendar for
Okay.
30 years. Mark down every time you work out, every time you go to a party, every time you hang out with Gina, Angie, or even Suzanne, especially Suzanne.
I feel like we can't
Mark it down.
go any. I feel like we can't top that. So I'm gonna go angry tweet throughout the night. Call a bunch of people losers.
Sounds like a good idea.
But one thing I would like to
professional,
share.
yes.
One thing I would like to share, because I feel like I should share it, even though it has no bearing in this entire process, and it is literally straight out of left field. I like root beer. I drink a lot of root beer. Root beer is really good to me.
Stop crying, Finn. Stop crying.
I'm not.
Finn,
I'm
it's
not
okay.
scared.
It's okay, Finn. Let it out. Don't hold it in,
Okay.
please.
Sometimes,
You have a right to feel. Come on.
sometimes, you know,
You're valid.
I go to parties.
You're valid. You are loved. You're valid.
Yes.
I go to parties with Jimbo,
Can I get
Chunky
a
Mark.
so if you're watching this
And
or if you're listening to this,
I'm not
shut
done.
up.
I'm not done. Sometimes I go.
No, you are done.
We have Chunky
Justice.
Mark,
You are done.
Menard, Jerry. Sometimes we have Sad
So if
Leon.
If you get the
And we all
reference,
root beer. We drink a lot of root beer. Sometimes we drink more root beer than we should have. And things happen when you drink a lot of root beer.
all right, I'm just going to mute him because he's just going to go on. Comment down below if you get the reference. So if you're watching this or if you're listening to this, comment down below. Maybe we'll turn that into a giveaway. If you guess correctly, then we'll send you something.
We'll send you a little sample of COVID, and then you can just look at it. Be like, wow, there it is, and then throw it away. That's it.
Fair enough. So we should wrap this up. Y'all want to promote your social media stuff? What's your Instagram? Where can we find y'all?
Sam, you can go first.
Okay. My Instagram, Samantha._Miller. So go follow me, please. Thank you.
Finn, where can we find you on Instagram?
You can find me on 2 different places. You can find me on Finn_Norton, and then please also go follow FairFilms_official. We want to get more followers to that.
Fair enough. Caitlin, how about you? Where can we go find you?
I am on Instagram. I got one of those, and it's just Caitlin Porter. Yeah, it's just one word, nothing special. And then I have a Twitter, if anybody cares. That's Caitlin Renee, and then a P at the end. So
go
I
follow
also
that.
have a Twitter, but I don't use it.
Sure, that'll be tough to. Don't follow Finn on Twitter, just on Instagram.
It's Norton_Finn on Twitter. Go follow me on Twitter. I currently have 1 follower, my boss. It is my boss. He follows me on Twitter.
So follow Finn on Twitter, and maybe he'll tweet more. Who knows?
I will tweet
follow
more
Caitlin
because
on
right now
Twitter,
it's only my
and I might
boss.
actually tweet ever.
Go to my MySpace, my Facebook,
Stop.
my
Stop.
OnlyFans. It's going all of it.
No.
All right, we're gonna mute Finn again.
No.
So you can find us at Lincoln Theater Arts. Theater spelled that way, RE, all one word.
You're trying.
We're on Twitter. We're on the Twitters. LHS Rails Theater, all one thing. And then y'all check out our YouTube page. Just search Lincoln Theater Arts on YouTube. Then you can find us on Anchor, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Breaker, Radio Public, all those great things. We're on there now too. Go listen to us. I think we're funny sometimes.
Oh God.
We have our moments.
We had 2 people cry. Me and Caitlin cried on this stream.
it was a lot for me.
We
I'm
get
so glad you
emotional.
guys supported me through that. I really appreciate that.
I make fun of deaf and blind cats.
Yeah.
So how is Jake?
Jake is doing great. He's actually he's
Sorry,
flipped on
Finn,
my
we're
bed
out of time.
yesterday.
We're out of time. It's okay. He won't be mad. He can't hear me.
Oh my God.
Anyway,
All right.
can we get a round of applause for our wonderful guest, Samantha Miller? Thank you for coming on. Thank you for coming on. It was great to have you. The Miller Report was a lot of fun. to
Definitely.
listen to you read.
Yeah, let us know what you want us to talk about. We'll do these every week. Hopefully not this late because Mr. Williams is out of wake up juice.
Oh yeah, in case you guys don't know, it is currently 11:35 when we recorded this.
You don't need to say that.
I do need to say that because you said late, so it is 11:35.
Late is a perspective, and to me, 9 o'clock is late. So,
Well, I'm not old, so.
thanks. On that note, we're gonna catch y'all next week. Let us know what you want us to talk about. We'll talk about whatever y'all want, whatever is engaging and fun and entertaining. This has been Ramblings from the Directors.
Okay. Are we gonna do the thing?
Finn, you don't talk about the thing.
Wash your hands. Stop what you're doing right now.
Get up.
Go wash your
Wash
hands.
Go wash your hands.
Sing happy birthday.
Sing happy birthday. Say the alphabet.
Happy birthday.
Do you remember? Do you remember the alphabet? Think about that.
Front and back.
Maybe go try to remember the alphabet while you're washing your hands.
I should have done that.
Do so.
Go wash your hands.
Watch them.
Stay 6 feet apart. Continue self-isolation.
Yeah, we're gonna think of a better ending next
Hey,
week. Comment down below. How do you want us to end this week?
thanks for watching,
Thanks for
everyone.
watching. Wash your hands. Wash your face. Be kind to one another. Do the things.
What is this?
Just
Ellen
watch
DeGeneres?
yourself.
I'm confused.
Just wash yourself in general.
Wash your face.
Wash yourself. Period.
Okay, we'll pose out. We'll pose at the end. We'll pose. Lila Gray, shout out to you. I'm stealing all these poses from you.
For real.
We all do different Lila Gray poses.
Shout out Lila. We need her on.
Oh my god, yes! I'll get her on. That is a obtainable guess.
All right.
Maybe.
Bye.
Can't make promises anymore. Okay, bye!
Bye. 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 Bye.